Hi guys. All right, so we are going to be doing writing with Miss Acton today. And we're going to be starting small today with something called proper nouns. So what will we be doing today? You can say, I will produce, and I made that bold because I'm going to come back to that later. I will produce a sentence with a proper noun of a person's name written correctly. What? I'm going to break that down for you. So I will produce. That's just a fancy way of saying I will make or create. So I will make a sentence. It's easy enough, but your sentence has to include some things. I will make a sentence with a proper noun, and I'm going to describe in this whole presentation what a proper noun is to you guys. So you're going to make a sentence with a proper noun of a person's name written correctly. So basically when you're done with this, you're going to be able to produce and make a sentence. It's going to have a person's name, which is a proper noun, and it's going to be written correctly. You're going to have everything in the sentence that you need to make it correct. All right, so first thing I want you to do is I want you to look with your eyes, look at this sentence. So I'm going to read it to you really quick. Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. I'm going to read that one more time. Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. So hopefully you remember what this is off of. And I want you to kind of look to see if there's anything that you notice about this sentence. So, look at the first word, the second word, third word, and just skim your way through all of the words. And as you're reading and looking at it, tell me some things that you notice. All right, so hopefully you noticed this word at the beginning has a capital letter, and hopefully you know why. The next word has a capital letter too. Why? Why do I need capital letters at the first two, but none of the other ones? Something I noticed. I also noticed this little symbol right here. What is that thing? And then there's the next word. There's another one, but it's like the exact same, but it's like underneath the word. This one's above it. This one's underneath it. That's weird. A big word right there, appetite, which just means it's what you're in the mood for, what you're hungry for. And then I noticed this symbol at the end. It's a period. Could also be a exclamation mark or a question mark because that's what the ending of a sentence should have. So let Miss Acton show you what a few of these things are. So we're going to come back to this letter or word being capitalized. We're going to come back to that later. Right now I want to talk about this. So this is an apostrophe, and the reason why it's here is to show that this word someone with an apostrophe S owns something. Something belongs to them. So when it says someone's snack, that means the someone owns this snack. So if you said Miss Acton's snack, that snack belongs to me, and that's at the end of Miss Acton's snack, it would be an apostrophe S instead of just a normal S. Just shows that something belongs to you. And you'll learn about that more at the end of the year. This is called a comma, and it separates thoughts in a sentence. It takes two small sentences and joins them and gives a big one. Commas have a lot of different jobs in the English language. This one's doing one job here, and again, just like our apostrophe, you're going to learn more about commas as the years go on. But I'm so glad that you noticed this stuff with me. And then, of course, the ending punctuation. This is just a calm sentence. Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's next. So you're just reading it normally. Whereas if you ended it with an exclamation mark, you would be yelling it. You're excited about it. Exclamation mark means you're excited. Once Penelope found out what it was like. That's how you would be reading that, but that's not how the sentence is supposed to be read, so it just has a normal period. And then last but not least, our little question mark means if you put that at the end of this sentence, this whole sentence would be a question. Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, so it just turns it into a question. But we know this sentence is not a question. It's just a calmly read statement, just a calmly read sentence. So all it needs is a little period at the end. All right, so thank you for looking at that sentence and noticing. We're actually going to come back to it later. All right, we move this down here. That thing's always in the way. So Proper noun as a name. So we have regular nouns, and you went over this with Miss Just and Miss Ramos the past 2 weeks. So regular nouns are just anything that describes a person, place, or thing. So a girl describes a person, a boy describes a person, a teacher describes a person, a place, restaurant, museum, school. Those are all ways to show nouns, but not specific, actual pinpointed nouns. So when I say, I like that school, it can mean any school that you've ever heard of in any state in the country or any country. It doesn't have to be in the United States. But whenever I say a specific school like Rutherford Elementary, that becomes a proper noun. It's an actual, real life, pinpointed noun, and that makes it a proper noun. And one of the ways that we can identify or find a proper noun is because it's capitalized. So let's see what happens when we start to do these two charts. So we've got a girl. That's just a regular noun. It can mean any girl in the whole wide world. It could mean mom, granny, auntie, your classmate that's a girl, a teacher that's a girl, the lady that is your waitress that's a girl, the lady that's checking you out at the Dollar General that's a girl. It can mean any of those. And I picked out a specific one, Rahima, who's a girl that's in Miss Acton's class. Some of you may know her from last year. So Rahima is a girl, but written as a proper noun is her actual name, and the beginning is capitalized. So I'm hoping that you remembered our sentence we just did with Penelope, how Penelope was capitalized. So hopefully you're making those connections right now. So Rahima is capitalized because she's a proper noun. All right, so we've got boy now. So going along the same lines as girls, you guys know a lot of boys, but when you talk about one specific actual boy like Caden or Jaden or Armani, or I'm trying to think of some of the boys in Miss Ramos and Miss Jess class. Miss Ramos. I know Miss Jess has a um hung. She's got I know she's got a girl named Karma, so Karma would be over here too with a capital K. I know that Miss Ramos has a girl named Natalie. Natalie would have a capital N over here in this column. So just remember the proper nouns are one specific actual thing and not just all of the girls and all of the boys. Let's try another one. Oh, cartoons. There's tons of cartoons, millions of cartoons. So when you're talking about just the noun, it's just cartoon. Nothing special about it. It's just all of the cartoons. But when you want to do a proper noun of cartoon, you pick one specific one. And I pick SpongeBob. And I capitalize the S at the beginning. When you're talking about a proper specific noun, that means that they're special. Hayden's not just a boy, he's a special boy. So you have to capitalize that C. Raheem is not just a girl, she's a special girl that we're specifically talking about, so you have to capitalize that R. SpongeBob is a cartoon, and there's millions of cartoons, but since we're talking about SpongeBob, we have to capitalize the S to show that he's special. He's a proper noun. All right, so teacher. I picked Miss Ramos. So she's not just, just a teacher, any teacher in the world. There's millions of us. Miss Acton's one too. When you're talking about a specific teacher, if you're specifically talking about Miss Ramos, she's special. So to show that she's special in that sentence that you make with her in it, she has to be capitalized. And I want you to notice that Miss Ramos is two different words. And the first word is capitalized and the second word is capitalized. You're gonna have to remember that, especially when you do people's first and last names. Right, next is dog. So dog is a noun and it can mean any dog in the entire world, but when you're talking about somebody's specific dog that's special and you're going to use it specially in a sentence, you have to capitalize. So I use the word Fluffy. Fluffy can be a doggy's name, and that F has to be capitalized to show it is special, and there's a reason why we're putting it into our sentence. And then last but not least, my favorite one in this whole thing, superheroes. Tons of superheroes. So when you just say the word superhero, you're not talking about a special, specific one, so you don't have to capitalize it. But when you're talking about one specific superhero and they're so special that you have to talk about them and use them in your sentence, they have to be capitalized. Now, Captain America is his name. Now, we know his name is Steve Rogers. That's his real name. And then actually the actor's name is Chris Adams. Chris Adams. Yep, that's right. Both of those, all three of those, Chris Adams, both of those letter or words would need to be capitalized. Steve Rogers, both will need to be capitalized, and Captain America. The C and the A have to be capitalized because Captain's special, so is America. Not just the captain, not just America. They both are special. They're both his name, so they both need to be capitalized. All right, so now I want you to do it. So you're not going to use any of the ones that Miss Acton did, and I'm going to give you time to pause the video and tell you to pause the video if you need more time to think. So now you do it. So I want you to think of a noun, just a normal baseline noun like boy, girl, dog, superhero, teacher, school, restaurant. The real basic, simple, just regular noun. And you can be a person, you can be a place, or it can be a thing. So I want you to think of that right now. All right, so now that you have one in your head, make sure it cannot be an actual person, place, or thing. So if you said Miss Ramos, you can't use that because that is an actual person. That's a proper noun. I want just a normal noun. So if you want to use Miss Ramos, then your regular noun would just be teacher or girl because both of those would describe her just as a noun. Okay, so think about that again. Miss Acton has hers. All right, so now you're going to think of the proper noun to go with it. So for example, if you thought dog, then the proper noun to go with it would be Max, the dog that chases balls. Cartoon, Ben 10. My nephews love that show. TV show, Descendants. My nieces love that. Descendants. So you're thinking of just the basic noun and then the proper noun to match it that would be capitalized in that sentence. So girl, Dr. Netsis. Boy, Mr. Rickner. Boy, Michael Jordan. Girl, Lady Gaga. I don't know if you all know who these people are, but hopefully you're hearing that I'm using people's actual names. I'm using actual TV shows. I'm using actual names of dogs to do those proper nouns. So hopefully you came up with a good one and you like that. All right, so I gave you some examples of names of persons, and I hope that you noticed that all of these have something in common. So first we have Roxy, and that's actually Miss Just Doggy, Roxy. We got Rahaf, that's a friend that's in Miss Acton's classroom. Shout out to my friend Rahaf. Mr. Rickner, who's our counselor at Rutherford. Slugger, that's Miss Acton's dog, her golden retriever. Slugger. Justin Bieber, so we have his first and last name. Justin Bieber. Barbie. A lot of my girls may have a Barbie at home. Miss Acton had Barbies when she was little. Little doll, little toy. LeBron. I could have put LeBron James, and hopefully you notice that the James, the J would be capitalized. We just have LeBron, so the L is capitalized. We've got Dr. Natsis. So we've got two different chunks, but they're both a part of her name and they're both special. And if they're special enough for you to use in your sentence, you need to capitalize both of them. So the beginning of the D in doctor and the beginning of the Natsis, the capital N. Beyonce. You guys know who Beyonce is. That B is capitalized. Brittany, which is the name, a girl's name. So the noun for that would be girl. The proper noun would be Brittany. Brittany is special. She's a specific girl. So we need to capitalize that letter to show she's special. Masla, who is a boy. That would be the regular noun. But since Masla is an actual person and he's special, and we're mentioning him and talking about him, we have to show he's special, putting a capital letter at the beginning. Then Spider-Man. So Spider-Man's a superhero. That would be his regular noun, but he's special. He's not just, a normal superhero. He's a special one. So we have to show he's special by capitalizing the beginning of his letter. So hopefully you noticed that the beginning of all of these people, these specific special people, they all have beginning sounds that are capitalized. The first letter is capitalized. And if they have two different ones, like Mr. Rickner, Justin Bieber, or Dr. Natsis, or any first and last name for anybody, that's still their name. That's a part of their name, so it needs to be capitalized too because it's special. The whole thing is We have to capitalize the beginning of both of those. All right, so now I want you to use these stems down here to help you. All right, so you're going to think of a person, and then you're going to spell it out loud for me. You can write it down if you want. You can finger write it if you don't have a pencil, or you can just spell it with your mouth. So watch how Miss Acton does this. The name of my person is Jess. That's my sister, Jess. You spell it like this: capital Jess. So if I were to be writing that down whenever I was reading that to you, I said it would be capital J, capital J, E, S, S. Capital Jess. So this is my sister, so I could say that she's a girl. I could say she's a sister. So those would be her nouns, and I don't capitalize those. But then when I'm talking about not just any girl, or any girl that's walking around, or any sister that anybody has, I'm talking about my sister, the girl I know named Jess. So I'm going to capitalize to show she's special. I'm going to capitalize that beginning letter, that J, to show that she's special. You try it at home. Now you can pause the video if you want to take some time. So you're going to say the name of my person is Michael. The name of my person is Sparky. The name of my person is Jojo Siva. The name of my person is Cardi B. The name of my person is Jason Derulo. I'm trying to think of all the people I have songs out right now. And then after you come up with that person, you're going to spell it. You spell it like this: capital, and let's say I'm spelling Sparky. I've got a dog named Sparky. You spell it like this: capital S for Sparky, capital Sparky. And then if somebody's writing it, they would need to make that S capitalized, and then the Parky would not be. So pause the video and think about who you would choose as your person, and then spell their name out loud, and then even practice spelling it if you want to. So pause this video if you need to, but if you don't, then go ahead and move on with Miss Acton. All right, so now we're going to take a look at some names and to see what's written correctly. So first word or first name we have is just Nick. So we've got a guy named Nick, or a boy named Nick. So the first one has a capital letter, and the rest are lowercase. And so from what we've seen, like with the Penelope in our sentence, from what Miss Acton showed you whenever she spelled her sister's name, and from what we've seen in some of the other examples, the beginning of the word definitely needs to be capitalized. So I'm going to go all the way over to the end and say, yeah, this one is definitely not going to be the right one. But then I'm confused. So the N is capitalized in this one, but it's on this one too. So technically both of these could be right, right? That's all the rule was, is that to show that it's special, capitalize the beginning. I mean, if this doesn't look like Nick is special in some way, I don't know what is, but let's see what they say is correct. All right, so the names that are written correctly says it's this one. So apparently, whenever you capitalize all of them, it doesn't make it correct. Now, let Miss Acton explain to you. Let's say you're sending a text message to somebody, and you're saying their name out loud, like you're yelling it, like you're trying to get their attention. When you write Nick this way, it's okay. But in school, when you guys are writing papers and they're for a grade, and they determine if you get to move to third grade, or when you get into high school, people from colleges are going to be looking at your writing, and they see that you've wrote the whole thing in all caps, capital N, capital I, capital C, capital K. They're going to be like, that's not okay, that's not right, that's not how English is written. So I know that sometimes you see people when they're wanting like to yell something, they're excited about something, they might capitalize the whole thing, and this does make Nick look special, but it's not the right way. And you should never write like that unless you're texting somebody, which is something that you're just texting a family member. If you're texting Dr. Natsis, or if you're texting, somebody who's trying to get you a job, don't text them like this. So that's one thing Miss Acton wanted to tell you about. So I know it looks like Nick is super special right here, but that doesn't mean that it's right, okay? So this is the right way. So think about that as we move down this list of different people's names. All right, so next we have a girl named Tessa Smith. So same thing. So Miss Acton told me that, yeah, this is just like whenever I'm just being goofy and just goofing off, and it doesn't matter what my language looks like or how I spell things, but not in school. I need to do it the right way. So this one is definitely wrong. So we know this one's not going to be right because every single letter is all caps. But then I look at this one. So she told me the beginning has to be capitalized. So it is on this one and it is on this one too. But the difference that I see is that the Smith is capitalized, the S, and then this one is not. The rule was just that the beginning of their name, Tessa Smith, needs to be capitalized. So both of these could be right because the beginning of Tessa Smith's name is the T, and they're both capitalized. They're both uppercase. So let's see what it says. Okay, so we're learning. So Tessa Smith is her whole name. So we have to show that Tessa and Smith are both important parts of her. Right here, it just shows that Tessa's important. Her last name is not special, but we know that that's different. Last names are important. In fact, Miss Acton, none of you all call me by my first name. You only call me by my last name, Acton. So yes, my last name is absolutely special. So I would not like it if you didn't capitalize my last name. Special to me, it's important to me. So make sure that if you have someone's name and it has their first and last name, or has the beginning title and the end, like Dr. Natsis, two parts of him, both those parts have to be capitalized. Okay. All right. So now let's move down. Poppy. So that's the troll girl with the pink hair. Poppy. Yeah, she's a good singer. So we know this one's not right. There's no capital letters at all. Oh, we know this one's probably going to be it. It's got a capital letter at the beginning, and these are all lowercase. That's how we should write it when we're in school. Oh, and then this one's just all kinds of messed up. So we got a lowercase p, so we know that's definitely not right. But look what it's got going on at the end. It's like it switched them. It did the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So we know the answer to this one. Woohoo! All right, so this last one, this is Batman. I want you to take a minute to kind of think, which one do you think is going to be correct? Let's see if you're right. Oh, did you get it? All right. So, yeah, this one doesn't have a capital at the beginning, and neither does this one. So we already know that those aren't going to work. This is the only one that has the capital letter at the beginning. It's showing that Batman is important. It's written correctly, and that's the one that we need to be using. So good job, guys. All right. So, oh, we're back to our sentence. So I'm going to read it again. And hopefully, as we're moving along, you're noticing some of the things on there. And actually, I'm noticing that Miss Acton made a mistake. So the first one, we had an apostrophe right here that showed that the someone is the owner of this snack. But it's not on this one. So Miss Acton made a mistake. I'm going to have to change it before I present this to other kiddos. So, but we'll just pretend that it's there and don't tell on Miss Acton that she messed up. Okay, keep that as our little secret. All right, so once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. So I'm hoping that now you know why, because at the beginning I was like, why do we have the beginning of our sentence capitalized, which we always do, but then the second word's capitalized and none of the other ones are. Why? We know that's because Penelope is the name of a special character. She's not just a dinosaur. She's that funny dinosaur that kept eating her classmates in that story that we read. Yeah, she's this dinosaur. So she's a special dinosaur. And if we're going to write about her, we have to show that she's special. And we show how she's special by making the beginning of her name capitalized. Now, let's say that we did the sentence once Penelope Rex, because that's her full name. That Rex would need to be capitalized too, because that's a part of her name too. And we have to show that it's special too. So hopefully you were able to notice that little bit, that the reason why Penelope was capitalized is because we have to show she's special. She's a proper noun and she's special. All right, so let's take a look at some sentences because our I will statement said that you need to produce your own sentence. So let's take a look at some. She likes to play with Mark when it is nice outside. So she is actually a pronoun. It's talking about some girl. We don't know who she is, but we know who she likes to play with, and he's special. We have to show he's special in this sentence. So the way that we do that is we say his name and we capitalize the beginning letter. So we show that Mark is special, and he's special in this sentence because apparently he's doing something cool, or else she wouldn't like to play with him outside. So way to go, Mark. All right, so next we've got his dog always licks Jaden Turner on the hand. So we've got Jaden Turner is our proper noun. We used it in a sentence. There's a capital letter at the beginning of our sentence because that's how we always start sentences. And we have a period at the end. We could actually do an exclamation mark with this one. I mean, this one's kind of goofy. Like you get excited that the dog is going over to Jaden, then you find out that all he's doing is licking his hands. You're like, oh, is he gonna attack him? Is he gonna knock him down? Is he gonna steal his ball? And all he does is lick his hand, but we're still excited. So you could read it. His dog always licks Jaden Turner on the hand. And you could do an exclamation mark at the end of that. But we just did a period on this one. So again, Jaden Turner is special in this sentence. Whatever he's got going on with his hands, maybe he just ate a juicy big piece of pizza or something. That dog always licks Jaden Turner's hand, so he always has a good taste on his hand. So Jaden and Turner need to be capitalized because those are both his name and he's special. We have to show he's special by capitalizing those letters. There's our proper noun right there. All right, there's the next one. I smelled smoke coming from Batman's cave. So again, Batman is special in this sentence because he's got smoke coming from his cave, and we had to mention it's not just a regular old cave with regular old bats in it. It's the cave that belongs to Batman. We have to show that he's special, so we capitalize that B at the beginning of it, okay? And hopefully you see that apostrophe again, the apostrophe S, to show it's not just any cave, it's Batman's cave. He owns that cave. It's his cave. And then our last one, I love to sing when I watch Elsa and Anna. So my girls probably know who Elsa and Anna is from Frozen, like all the songs that they sing. So Elsa and Anna are special enough that we had to talk about them in our sentence and talk about how we love, not just like, we love to sing when we watch them. So we have to capitalize Elsa and we have to capitalize Anna to show that they're special. The and is not special, guys, so you do not have to capitalize it. Elsa's last name is not and. Anna's not a last name, and the first name is not and. So that and is just showing that we've got two different people that we're going to talk about. So you do not have to capitalize the and. So don't get that confused, okay? Excuse me. All right. So those of you that are at home, you won't be able to do this as well as my friends that might be doing this live with Miss Acton, but we're going to see if we can get us to create a sentence. I want you to just watch Miss Acton. So I'm going to tear off my paper that's got my sister as a proper noun. She's special, so we have to capitalize that J at the beginning of her name. So I'm just going to pretend like I hear from you guys. So let's make a sentence together. All right, so I'm going to start the sentence first, all right? So I started my sentence with the words I love. My I is capitalized because it is the beginning of my sentence. Do not forget to do that when you produce or make your own sentence. Capitalize that beginning sound or it will not be written correctly, okay? So I love, I want you to come up with a different word. And pretend like I hear you. And you can get a piece of paper or you can finger write your own sentence right here if you want. Follow along with Miss Acton. I love. I heard to. Okay. I love to watch. Okay. I love to watch. Now we're getting kind of late into our sentence. We've already have 4 words. I love to watch. And we need to be thinking about where we're going to fit that proper noun in because we have to produce a sentence that's written correctly with a proper noun that is a person's name. Okay. All right. So I love to watch. Oh, could we throw a person's name in right there? I love to watch. Let's do Tim. Tim sounds like an old guy's name. I love to watch Tim. So is that a proper noun? Yeah. Do we have a correctly written sentence yet? I love to watch Tim. We do, but I want to add more detail. I love to watch Tim what? What is Tim doing that I love to watch? I want to add more detail to that. And plus we don't have a period at the end either, and that is not a correctly written sentence. So we still have some work to do. So let's see. Let me hear what you got. I love to watch Tim. Okay. Play. All right. I love to watch Tim. I love to watch Tim play. You like play a sport? What sport do you think? Basketball, football, baseball, soccer. Let's do a sport that isn't like a profession. Can't really watch it on TV, but it's still fun. Kickball. I love to watch Tim play kickball. Maybe you like to watch him because he kicks the ball really hard. And we can add that to our sentence. I love to watch Tim kick. I love to watch Tim play kickball because he kicks the ball really far. But I'm running out of room, and I don't want to keep this video going too long, and I'm pretending like I'm hearing from you guys. And really, this is just an imaginary person I'm talking to. I feel like I'm going crazy. I love to watch Tim. I love to watch Tim play kickball. So I got a capital letter at the beginning of my sentence. Woohoo! I've got a full thought, which makes a sentence. I got my proper noun, Tim, with a capital T at the beginning to show he's special. I could add a last name if I wanted to. Maybe Tim, Tim. I feel like that's a common last name. Tim Smith. And I got the Smith capitalized too. Play kickball, but there's something missing at the end. What is it? There you go, an exclamation mark, period, or a question mark. So you can do an exclamation mark and you're just saying, I love to watch Tim play ball. But if you're screaming it, you say, you would have to put an exclamation mark. And you're saying, I love to watch Tim Smith play kickball. You're yelling it. Okay, so that's what an exclamation mark would do. All right. So we made us a nice little sentence together. Thanks for helping us. Thank you for helping us. Really did. We just pretended. I'm gonna come up with your own though, and you have to do that in your Google form too, all right? So, watch my video. When you're done, fill out the questions on your Google form. Push submit. Don't forget. And then once you're done with that, make sure you do reading and math for today, and then you're all done. So thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and hopefully I see some good work from you guys. Bye.